Installment of the series Take This Job and Love It. Fox 31's chief meteorologist Mike Morrison traded his weather gear for fishing gear in his look into fish farming.
Catfish by the thousands. Not quite big enough to eat yet, but if you're a fish farmer, or more precisely an aquaculturalist, then these are the size you start with. And Owens & Williams Fish Farms is where you can find them.
Okay, this is the Newton complex of Owen & Williams Fish Farm. We're based in Hawkinsville, but also have the farm here in Baker County. 80 ponds, about 300 acres of production water. We grow fish not for food, but for stocking just sport fishing ponds.
From facilities like this one in Newton, Georgia, fish farmers will purchase thousands of fish at a time to stock grow-out ponds where they care for, feed, and raise the fish to the proper size to market as food. One such fish farm is just up the road in Americus, and there you will find entrepreneur Walter Stapleton and cat daddies at Spring Hill Fish Farm. Mr. Stapleton owns a unique property that is populated with free-flowing artesian wellheads, providing an excellent source for clean, self-replenishing water, perfect for raising the highest quality fish.
You know, that's what I'm banking on with the spring water. These fish, the taste quality is just superb. So I think, you know, if I want to get into selling to restaurants and things like that, I think they would just die to get their hands on some of this, you know, good tasting catfish.
To grow these fish to the market size of 1.25 pounds to 1.5 pounds will take 4 to 5 months of care and lots of feeding. Now these fish are fed pellets about this size until they get a little bit bigger. Then they're fed dog food size pellets, and boy do they eat a lot. Of course, there are many natural dangers to a fish farm, including birds like the double-crested cormorant, the great blue heron, and pelicans. Add to that the devastation that an otter can bring, and one must be always attentive to these predators. But there may be an even more sinister threat lurking in the water, parasites like nematodes that can kill the catfish, and farmers, well, they have a solution for that too.
Well, you have to watch for diseases. It's always encouraged with catfish farming that you have brim, bluegill brim in the pond, because the nematodes and the other insects that can attach themselves to the fish, you know, parasites. The brim take care of that. So that's the medicine for the pond is the brim. But the brim don't eat the catfish, and the catfish don't eat the brim.
Walter Stapleton plans on growing a lot of fish, and this also means growing his business as well.
So that means I'm going to build 10 more ponds on a little bit smaller scale, and get the inventory up to where I can have sales of 60,000 catfish a year by 2 turnovers.
Just like on agricultural operations, harvest on fish farms can also be a very busy time. Huge nets are used to gather the fish. Then the fish can be sized and collected depending on how many fresh fish are needed for that day. From church fish fries to fine restaurants to your kitchen table, some of the best catfish in the country will soon be available in Americus thanks to Walter Stapleton and cat daddies at Spring Hill Fish Farm. For this edition of Take This Job and Love It, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Morrison, Fox 31 News.